Okay, step number one is to open the object.fla in the tutorial 1 folder, which is inside of the let's see, the exercises. So if you look under exercises, and then if we go to tutorial 1 and then go to the review, we'll see object 1. So open that. It's already open. Okay, so to get there you go file and you do an open. Once you're there, the next step is to turn right around and save the file as object new.fla. So file and then click on save as, and then we're going to call this objects new.fla. My recommendation when you are doing your actual sessions is to name these right here. Okay, so then we'll click save and we'll move on to the next step. And that happens to be display rulers and the grid. So under view we can find grid and then click on show grid, and then under view we can find rulers where we can just click on the rulers. So those are turned on now. The next step is in the tools palette, click the lasso tool. In the tools panel, click the selection tool, which is the arrow at the top. Notice the pop-up, it says V, so that's the hotkey. Along with menu items, you can see there's hotkeys. You can learn the keyboard shortcuts to all these. So we've got the selection tool, and it says double click on the red circle to select both its fill and stroke. So single click selects the fill, double click selects the fill and the stroke, and then move it to the lower right corner approximately 450 on the left and then 325 at the top. So if you look at the top here and the side over here, as I'm moving, you can see the cross here is running, so somewhere right in 450 and 350. So that's approximately where to place that. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go in the tools panel and click on the lasso tool. So tools panel down over here, and then the lasso tool, Control L, and then we're going to drag around the beach ball and the green oval. So if we go around the beach ball and then around the oval, we'll have those two things selected. Then over the fill control here, see the fill? If you click on that, we can select a, what does it say? Select a light pink. Okay, so it selects and changes everything. And then the next thing we do is, with the lasso tool currently selected, we draw a marquee around the tree and its leaves. So we'll do the same thing by selecting the tree and its leaves, and then we're going to group these things. So under, it's Control G is the hotkey. Modify, there it is, modify group. We've now grouped those things together. The next thing we're going to do is in the tools panel, we'll click on the zoom tool. So tools panel and then select the zoom tool, and then we can click to select to zoom in, and if we hold the Alt key we can zoom out, and then click to zoom out. So you can click to zoom in, or you can Alt click to zoom out. And if you want to get around something specific, you can circle it and then Alt, click to zoom out. And these, of course, can move up and down. Also, if you hit the space bar, that's also helpful. Okay, the next thing is in the Tools panel, we'll click on the Selection tool, then click on the stroke representing the kite's tail. Right there. Okay, so let's click on the Selection tool, and then we'll just click to select that. And then in the Property Inspector, we'll click the red color in the color palette to change the tail to red. So under the stroke, we'll change this to red. Okay, so that's now red. Okay. The next thing is we'll change the magnification tool. We'll change the magnification level of this stage to show the frame, which is what we did. We hit the Alt key and we show frame. Let's see. Okay, what they mean is up here I currently have 96%, but let's do a show frame. Okay. The next thing, step number 9, is move the pointer to the top stroke of the rectangle tool. So select the stroke, or the top stroke of the rectangle, and then use the curve pointer to drag the stroke slightly downward toward the center of the rectangle to create a curve. So we'll just click and drag to pull this down. Hold on a second. Okay, so with it unselected, you can then just click and drag to pull it down. Use the curve pointer to drag the stroke slightly downward toward the center of the rectangle to create the curved edge. Repeat this to the 3 other sides of the rectangle toward the center. So let's do that to the bottom and then to the sides like that. Okay, the next step is click the vertical ruler and drag the pointer to the right approximately 150 pixels on the horizontal ruler to create a vertical grid guide. So we can just click and drag out 150 to put a guide. Then on the horizontal rule, create a vertical guide, and okay, so with that, then we'll select the pink oval and we'll snap it to the guide so that it aligns with that at the middle. In the Tools panel, click the Sub-Selection tool and then click the heart-shaped stroke to display the anchor points. Okay, so here's the Sub-Selection tool, and then we'll click on the heart. This stroke of the heart, and display its anchor points. Drag any anchor point to reshape the heart. Click an empty area on the stage to deselect the modified shape. So you can click to select, and that's the center. Oop, there's the whole thing. If you grab the handles, you can also change how strong the you can control the curve between points. So you can grab the point and move it, or you can grab the handle and move it. So those are some ways to modify the shape, and then you can just click off of it to deselect Okay, so the next step is in the property inspector, click on the background color control and select a light yellow. So in the so then in the properties panel, properties will edit, and then in this pop-up we'll select the background color and choose a light yellow. Change the background of the stage. So now you can save your project. So just do a file and then click on save. Notice also you could just hit Control S. So that should get you pretty well ready for your the project that you're going to turn in. The case problems. So so good luck with those, and don't forget to save your work, save often, and then make sure that you name them properly and submit them when you're finished.